Okay guys, before I get into the video of what this is actually about, I just want to state that a business has the right to sell their product in the way that they choose, whether it's above the uh, manufacturer's suggested list, at manufacturer's suggested list, or below manufacturer's suggested list. So I'm all for the free market, and the customer will decide what he'll do. But and if they want to add frivolous fees to pad the bottom line, they have a right to do it. So I just want to make sure that you understand that I'm not against that, because the free market will determine and are you competitive. So those are things to consider when shopping for an item. Are you being competitive with the majority of other people, the other sales, other companies that are selling the same product? So just wanted to get that out of the way. So this video is going to be about my experience at Signature Harley-Davidson when I was looking at getting some pricing on a motorcycle, specifically the Ultra Limited. So last week I sold my 2012 Goldwing motorcycle. Now previous to that, my first three were Harleys, and I loved them. They were great bikes, and I was going to buy my fourth Harley when I was at Mad River Harley-Davidson, and a Vanessa, who I knew when she used to work in motor clothes, she ended up getting into sales. So at that time I was looking at the, I believe it was the Tour Glide, the one with the rounded fairing, anyways, they had one there, and in the back that they had just gotten out, that wasn't even on the floor, and I said, well, that's what I want. And I told her that I was going to pay cash and I wasn't going to pay list. What could you do for me? Well, her answer to that was, do you have a credit card? And I said, well, no, not to buy a motorcycle. I can't buy a motorcycle on a credit card. I don't want that kind of a limit. Well, she said, I need money down so that I know you're serious for me to get you a price. Of course, I kept my mouth shut, turned around, and walked out the door. And a buddy of mine said, you ought to look at the Goldwing. So, make a long story short, I bought a Goldwing, and I loved it. But Goldwing came out with a new design in 18, and I thought, well, let me go ahead. I'd like to get the new one. So, but I needed to sell my old one because I just don't have room in the garage for everything that I have, tools and car and tractors and such. So I sold it, and I thought, well, let me just keep my options open. I've been to Harley dealers, but I hadn't really studied them, didn't really know what was available. So I wanted to keep my options open. Like I said, I liked my Harleys. I really liked the Goldwing. It was just a very smooth performing bike, lots of features. So that's why I was at the Harley dealer here. So I just want to set the stage for that. Okay, so the gentleman that I spoke to, the sales associate, was Don at Signature, and he was very nice, very knowledgeable. My last Harley was a 2004 Ultra Classic, and a lot has transpired in all those years. So what was available, just so many things. What isn't made anymore, and so that's when I came to. I liked the Ultra. I wanted that type of a bike. Now they call it the Ultra Limited. So that's what I got prices on, was the Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited in black. So next it came to sitting down and getting some prices of that bike. And I've got to say, in the past, they've never given me a printout. In fact, most dealers, they won't print anything out in writing. So you always got to write stuff down. So I asked this Larry, when we went into his office, I said, give me a piece of paper, I want to write these down. He said, oh hell, I'll print it out. So that was great. So he printed everything out, and we went over everything. So let's look at the itemization here. You'll see that the selling price of the bike is $28,089, or that's the list, and that was the list price the manufacturer suggested. Now, after a little negotiations, he said, well, I'll come down $1,000. And of course, that's not enough for me. These bikes aren't selling. You know, they're just not selling to that extent. So he said, well, he'd have to talk to the sales manager or somebody that wasn't there that day. So Don called me back the following day and said that they would go $1,500 off of the $28,089. So $1,500 off that price. Next, we have freight, $435. Okay, got to charge it. They got to charge it. Okay, fine, that's fine. That's what you got to charge. So they have a subtotal, and then they have a dock fee. Okay, now in the state of Ohio, you're allowed to charge up to $250. Doesn't mean you have to charge it. Don't have to charge anything. But you can charge up to $250. Now, we all know that this is an empty fee. This is just a way to, shall I say, politely bend you over and give a little more money to the dealer. And car dealers do the same thing. So this isn't just on the Harley, but you know, they don't have to charge it, but they do. So there you go. They want $250 for a dock fee. And registration, no problem with that. $33.50, I don't have a problem. That's the registration for your 30-day tag. No problem with that fee. Now, boys and girls, this is the fee that kind of irks me. Other charges and fees. We got $40. Well, $40. Well, what the hell's $40 and $28,000, $29,000, $30,000 bike that's going to be going out the door? It's what the $40 fee represents. So, you know, everybody's got their own opinion. And as I said earlier, God bless these companies. They can do what they want. They're selling a product. They can charge how they want. I don't have that problem. Not at all. Not at all. But, again, they're charging the $40. It's up to the prospective customer to say, do they want to buy that? Are they willing to do that? And then the total selling price, $28,847.50, and then you've got your taxes. Can't forget the tax man. And the total out the door was $30,864.48. So the gist of this video is right here. What are we looking at? We're looking at a warehouse fee. That $40 is what Signature Harley-Davidson in Perrysburg, Ohio says is a warehouse fee. Now I asked the guy, says, what do you mean? Well, he says, we got a lot of bikes, we got to put them in a warehouse. Well, hell yeah. You've got a lot of bikes. You're charging all these fees, $250 for a dock fee, and then you're going to tell somebody that we have to pay you to warehouse your bike? That's a business decision that's on you, Signature Harley-Davidson, not the customer. What are you going to do next? Are you going to have a cover charge? Why don't you just charge, say, $25 for a cover charge for the pleasure of everybody to come into your door? And then if you've got to use the restroom, I don't know what, $10 maybe, just $10. If you're not in there too long, of course, you know, if you're in there longer, you're taking up space. So, you know, this is ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous that you would tell the customer that you're going to charge them $40. I mean, you just charged $250 for a ridiculous, meaningless dock fee. And then you're going to charge $435 for shipping, you know, for freight. But even if we don't look at the freight, you know, you've got $250. You could absorb that. You know, next thing you're going to charge us for an electric, you know, your electric bill. I'm sure that's pretty high. It's got to be. You know, commercial building. Hell, why don't you add another, Another 40. Charge another 40 for electric. I'm sure that's high. You know, I want to help you out. So this is what irks me right here, is that they have the gonads to think that this is acceptable to tell a customer that's going to spend 28. You know, Harleys are not cheap, and you want them to spend another $40 so that you can warehouse your bike just because you're not selling them. I mean, I was told where they're storing them. I know where they're storing them. I'm not going to say, but they've got a whole bunch of bikes, and they're storing them. They, you know, I don't know whether or not maybe they need to tell Harley, hey, look, you know, we can't sell all these. Let's not send us so many. But don't charge the customer. Don't tell the customer you're charging them $40, because I've showed this to people, and everybody thinks it's ridiculous. And there's too many other dealers out there that for that $40, I'll spend way more than that going to a dealer that isn't going to nickel and dime the hell out of me, because I don't feel, in my opinion, that this is acceptable to charge a customer. Okay? I'm not going to accept it. Again, you can do that as a dealer, but I, as a customer, will not accept this and will not buy anything. Now here's something that's interesting. It says lien holder. So I don't know if this is, if they have a floor plan with Harley, if it's done through this bank, Eagle Mark Savings Bank out of Sacramento, California. But I just happened to see that on there and thought it was quite interesting. All right, and just to document this, this was done, I was in there June 2nd, 2019, and it does show the 2019 HD, the FLH TK, which is the Ultra Limited. And there's the VIN number and the color black. So just, you know, I like to document everything. And this just shows that in fact is the date and what I was looking at pricing and how they were pricing it out. So what I did is a day or two later, I believe it was the next day, I called another Harley dealer, and I've been down there several times. Real nice place. It's called Ben Breece, B-R-E-E-C-E. Spoke to a gentleman by the name of Brian. Said he was part owner, and pretty much told him what I was looking for, and he said right off the bat they would do $1,500. So he was going to take the same price off as Signature, $1,500 off the manufacturer's retail, their list. So I said, well, now what games are you playing? You know, I said, what other fees are you adding? So obviously you've got to pay the tax man, okay? And so he said they're not charging shipping. So remember, shipping was $435 at Signature. Ben Breece, Harley-Davidson in Ottawa, Ohio, is not going to charge you shipping. Now, the interesting part is I said, okay, how much for dock fee? Now, as you recall, Signature is charging you $250 for the dock fee, plus $33.50 for the registration fees. So $250 plus $33.50. Ben Breece Harley-Davidson said they cover both of those charges under one fee, $75. So $75 versus $250 plus $33.50. Okay? That's $283.50 at Signature for the same thing that Ben Breece is going to charge $75 for. Now, I asked them if they were going to charge a warehouse fee, and I kind of told them what they were doing. You know, of course, he's a dealer. He don't want to make too many comments on that. But, you know, so if I'm going to buy this bike, it sure as hell is going to be Ben Breece. Okay? It will not be Signature who wants to charge me $40. So it's not about the $40, it's about what it represents. And, you know, I'm not going to subscribe to that. as a customer. I'm just not going to. Okay, so this is my dog Moose, and she is a motorcycle enthusiast. Say hi, Moose. Now, I'm just going to throw this in there as a little bit of humor. But that $40, this is no lie, will feed Moose for over a year. Well, she only eats 6/10 of an ounce of food the whole day. I feed her small breed adult blue buffalo, small breed adult, 6/10 of an ounce. And if you were to buy a 15-pound bag, that would last 400 days. So, you know, when little Moose found out about that $40 charge, she said, "Oh my God, will you be able to feed me?" So, you know, we got to take care of our animals. So anyways, that was just a little humor. Just wanted to say something to lighten up this video. But, you know, whatever you guys think, put it in the comments. Are you okay with the $40 fee, having to pay them to warehouse it? It'd be interesting to get your comments. Everybody else I've talked to is not. All right, say bye, Moose. Bye-bye.